Gervonta Tank Davis going over to the Benavidez's. That's right, Jose Benavidez Sr. to coach him for his next fight in the fall. And we're talking about October, September at the earliest. And it's official. He's going over to Jose Benavidez Sr., the father of Jose Benavidez Jr., and most notably, the father of David Benavidez. Monstro!
Surprising to see it, I think. But I feel like he's comfortable with Jose. And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's going to get this light flipped up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, you know, when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
Gervonta Davis has officially joined David Benavidez's camp, and the footage shared by Jose Benavidez Sr. has fans wondering if both stars are preparing for comeback fights on the same card.
It's just right off the top of the head.
He likes to move when he wants to move, too.
Yeah.
And Jose won't care.
You see how long it takes him to arrive at events.
Yeah.
What's the deal? I don't know.
That's a weird one for me.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like, I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. You know, Pacheco isn't with them
and
anymore.
they both are gone.
Yeah. And they both are.
Yeah.
And Jose doesn't fight anymore. I think.
Not really. No, he hasn't been contender status for a minute. Jose Benavidez, really since Crawford.
Rumors of the link-up had been circulating for days, but once Jose shared footage of Tank training in camp, the partnership was finally confirmed.
Yeah. Start that motherfucker off. I made the decision of training DC because, I haven't been in the coldness in a minute. I haven't even trained in the coldness in a minute, so I'm not really trying to get in his personal business. Probably just showing him that, I could do anything.
The boxing world is stunned as this collaboration unfolds, with Jose Sr. using the footage to highlight Tank's training ahead of his upcoming comeback fight.
Gervonta Tank Davis going to Jose Benavidez Sr. as his coach. I'm not sure if he's completely departing from Calvin Ford tutelage, but it's official. I just saw on Jose Benavidez Sr. Instagram and on his socials, he's showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out in this video and announcing and marketing the new Gervonta Tank Davis on Team Benavidez merchandise. Now, he had a few videos out there showing Gervonta Tank Davis working out and all those things, and I promise you, he could not have made this announcement without Gervonta Tank Davis's blessing. For me, this makes it official, their relationship. And Gervonta Tank Davis and David Benavidez, they've shared their mutual respect for each other.
The connection between Benavidez and Tank is not new, as both previously shared an undercard, and the footage highlights the high-level training setup Tank now joins.
Their photo ops together, you can tell that there's a genuine like and respect that they have with each other. So I think it's going to be organic. And as far as what to expect from Gervonta Tank Davis going to Team Benavidez, listen, dude, I have personal experience training with those guys and their product in that gym. And I'm telling you, man, what jumps out more than the facility itself and the hyperbaric chambers and shit where you can recover, and of course the food. I mean, it's just chef-kissed, beautiful food over there. They definitely getting their grub on. But more than that, more than all of that, is really the family culture. Once you become a part of that team, you're like family. They even have living rooms and bedrooms and kitchens and restrooms, and you can literally live there.
This is the same training camp that helped Ryan Garcia prepare for his fight against Mario Barrios, and with Tank's recent inactivity, it is expected to sharpen his performance just like how Ryan got his victory.
So for me, you can't help but to expect the same thing out of Gervonta Tank Davis. Having great form, implementing it now, and working at a high speed, oh, that's definitely Tank. But he doesn't implement that in the ring. According to CopyBox, Gervonta Tank Davis' lack of activity is historic. I mean, he is the lowest volume fighter in the world. And a lot has to do with his timing, his IQ, his precision, and his power. He throws something when he sees something. but it just so happens to make him a low activity fighter. And against Lamont Roach, I think that has something to do with the trouble Lamont Roach gave him, because Lamont Roach didn't give him much. So Gervonta, he really couldn't find too much to count.
On one side, there is excitement, while on the other, there is disappointment over a possible split between Tank and his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford. Sean Zittel, alongside Sean Porter, breaks down the situation and suggests that Calvin's recent interviews, which Tank reportedly did not like, could be one reason behind the growing tension and reported split talks. However, Zittel also makes it clear that he does not question Ford's quality or reputation as a trainer in any way.
From Jose, and then everything since then has been.
So that's gonna be interesting to watch when they come down the ring together.
Yeah.
Jose and Tank.
It's their business, but I just don't. I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford really. I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like that
made no sense, man.
Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off when he had promise. No offense, Truck. Much love to you, but when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent. He has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did, and that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer.
Sean also draws comparisons with Lorenzo Truck Simpson, another fighter trained by Calvin Ford, saying he sees a similar style between Truck and Tank. He highlights how Ford has developed Simpson from the ground up to a high level, which speaks volumes about his ability as a trainer. Sean also reflects on Tank's preparation for the Santa Cruz fight, noting that even Floyd Mayweather could not bring out the same spark until Ford stepped in and did his work in camp.
When I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system. There's a way a guy he builds from scratch in the Baltimore amateur program looks. And so that made me lend more credence to Calvin's work. I just remember Tank being in the gym for the Santa Cruz fight, came in heavy and was in Floyd's gym, and he didn't that spark didn't come and Floyd was trying to get it out of him. It wasn't really happening in the first couple weeks. He had to wait to Whitewater. He had a couple months until the Santa Cruz fight date. But once Calvin came to the gym from Baltimore, the spark started and the light came on.
Zittel highlights the importance of a trainer in a fighter's career, pointing to how Ford has built Tank from the ground up and stood by him through personal struggles and setbacks. He emphasizes how Ford remained loyal despite the criticism, arrests, and negative attention surrounding Tank's life, family, and growing fan base. For Zittel, this is a trainer who consistently backed his fighter when the world turned against him. However, he also suggests that the growing tension between them could turn into a deeper issue, something that may continue unfolding with time.
I don't know, I'm just, it's I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. Right. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through, and Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. But hey,
to that I'll say this, and then we'll do the
he stand down when you brought in Barry as the head trainer for the Lamont Roach fight.
Talked you up,
right?
And some coaches just made for it. Much people think I hate Sean dad. I've told Sean every time, you need to stay with your dad, haven't I?
Oh yeah.
I never told Sean to leave your dad. Yeah. I was like, your dad is made for you.
There are mixed reactions over Benavidez joining Jose. The mutual respect between Benavidez and Tank Davis is already clear, but some still believe he should not move away from Calvin Ford. Thomas Cornflake Lamanna insists Ford remains the right man for Tank and argues that teaming up with Jose would not bring major improvement. Instead, he suggests Tank should have considered working with Robert Garcia. Alongside this debate, possible opponents for Tank's next fight are also being discussed, with John David Jackson being mentioned as a strong potential matchup.
I think Calvin is his guy. I don't think now, unless they had some weird shit, maybe they split. Maybe Calvin didn't like what he was hearing, what was going on, and maybe personally he didn't want to be involved with it. I don't know. I'm speculating crazy, so let me just, I want to dead all that. I damn sure don't think Jose Benavidez is a good fit. If you're going to switch, man, you go to Robert Garcia's, right? You go to a Robert Garcia or, who's a good come
John
forward
David
counter?
Jackson. I want to see more fighters give him a shot again, but that's just me.
John David Jackson?
Yeah.
He just has Clarissa Shields, right?
Devin Haney is also being mentioned as a potential next opponent for Tank Davis, with Showbiz sharing his detailed take on how the matchup should be structured. He believes the fight can happen at 147 with a catchweight option, but the real focus should be on controlling the rehydration rules. According to him, Haney's key strength is his ability to move down in weight and then rebuild size on fight night, which gives him a physical advantage. In his view, limiting that post-weigh-in size change would be crucial in balancing the matchup and testing both fighters fairly inside the ring.
I don't mind a catch weight, and I don't mind a rehydration clause. I have a problem with both. But when it comes to Debo, listen closely. Devin's superpowers is the fact that he can get small and then regenerate and get big. His kryptonite is if you stop him from getting big. If you have the fight at 135, 140, 144, Devin can make it. Why can he make it? But he can make the weight.
He further breaks down that the real strategy is not just choosing a comfortable fight weight, but neutralizing Haney's physical advantage after the weigh-in. He explains that Haney performs best when he can fully rehydrate and enter the ring significantly bigger, which he sees as his main strength. However, if a strict rehydration clause is applied, that advantage could be reduced, forcing him to rely more on skill than size. He adds that even if the bout happens at 147, controlling that recovery window could become the deciding factor in how competitive the fight actually turns out to be.
So the advantage isn't having a weight he can make. The advantage is in the rehydration clause, stopping him from regenerating into a middleweight. I don't care if the fight is at 147. You put a rehydration clause on it, that's his kryptonite. That's his weakness, him blowing back up. That's Debo's whole thing.
Showbiz the Adult also leans towards Devin Haney in a potential matchup against Tank Davis, pointing to Tank's biggest weakness as his low output. He argues that Tank is one of the least active fighters in top-level boxing, often relying on timing and counter shots instead of constant pressure. This lack of volume, in his view, creates openings for disciplined fighters like Haney to control rounds and outwork him. He also highlights why the recent development around Jose Benavidez Sr. training Tank becomes so important, especially if it helps address these activity and combination issues in his style.
Right now, I'm leaning towards Debo to beat Tank. The biggest flaw Tank has is he's not busy enough. He is one of the most busy fighters in pro boxing right now, which is why this news is so important. Jose Benavidez Sr. will be training Gervonta Tank Davis for his upcoming fight in the fall. David Benavidez is one of the busiest fighters in the world. So that can work with David Benavidez, showing him how to initiate combos, how to be first, how to be aggressive, not just a counter puncher letting you punch yourself out.
He further explains that while the current version of Tank may struggle against Haney at 147, a more aggressive and higher volume version could change everything. With Jose Benavidez Sr. in camp, he believes Tank could learn to throw more punches, initiate exchanges, and apply consistent pressure instead of waiting to counter. That style shift, he argues, would make a huge difference against top opponents like Teofimo Lopez and even Haney. In his view, this upgraded version of Tank would have a much stronger chance in elite level less.
Now, the Tank we know, Debo may beat him at 147, but this Tank G-Money with Jose Benavidez Sr. knowing how to throw more punches and bunches with volume, initiating shots, going after Debo, that Tank has a better chance.
At the same time, in the growing conversation around possible future opponents for Benavidez, names like Beterbiev, Bivol, and Opataya are already being discussed, and now Ben Whitaker has also entered the picture. Whitaker believes he is not far from challenging for the WBC title, saying that skill-wise, he is already at the level, but experience is the only missing piece. He points to respected figures mentioning him as proof that he is heading in the right direction, including comments suggesting he has the talent but needs more ring time. For him, the focus now is building experience to step into elite-level fights confidently.
Not far at all, really. I say skill-wise, I'm there now, but it's experience that I need. But I've said it on someone else's thing. On Frotch's interview, he actually mentioned me. They said, "Who's a dream fight you would like?" And he said, "Ben Whittaker at Wembley." So if you've got the champion mentioning you, it shows you're doing something right. And even he said he's got the skills. He just needs experience. And that's exactly what I plan to do, is get experience.
With Tank Davis officially linking up with Jose's camp, the momentum in boxing is building fast as top names start circling potential mega fights and rivalries begin to take shape. This move is already shifting conversations around upcoming matchups and what comes next inside the ring. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more updates, and drop your thoughts in the comments, because the boxing landscape is changing right in front of us.